What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Before we get started, I want to thank all my subscribers for all the love and feedback. It's definitely motivating me to make more videos and showing off the power of this stuff. I'm very grateful to be part of this community and happy to give back. Today, we're going to go over the foundation of my favorite Bollinger Band strategy. It's basically Bollinger Bands on steroids. I want to start slowly showing off all the things that help me make all these concepts click in my brain. If you're new here, AlgoBox is a multi-time frame, multi-confluence trading system. It has some of the most powerful and unique signals I've ever seen. Nothing compares to it. It doesn't repaint. It's all plotted for you without having to draw anything. It's freaking awesome. If you like what you see, you can try it out all for free. Link in the description. Alright, so I want to review three things. First, I want to show you guys a video of Vinny, the creator of AlgoBox, explaining the foundation of this strategy. After that, I want to review a trader that uses this and makes a killing doing it. And then we'll end it off with a few live trade examples. Alright, so let's get into it. Let me pull up the video real quick. Alright, here we are. So let's check out this video of Vinny explaining the super bands, which is the Bollinger Bands that I love trading off of. Let's check it out.
Alright, super bands. So the double Bollinger Pro is a dynamic tool for identifying overbought and oversold zones on any chart size. Use the super bands on large charts as part of the operating. This is basically Bollinger Bands on crack. We get some nice little designators for colors, and you also get some audio alerts on these in your settings. I generally use these on higher time frames. There are some of our members absolutely swear by these, especially on the higher time frames. This is a great one to literally, if you want to just wait for these plays, higher time frames, kick back, relax, and wait for one of these setups to come in on these and then take your plays. These in combination with the lower time frame entries, so higher time frame opportunity coming in, then entering in on the lower time frame with the lower time frame risk. Great way to use the super bands in the AlgoBox system. Here's what it looks like on the lower time frames. Lay and wait. Yep. How many of you guys absolutely love these? I know some folks are here that just lay into these on the higher time frames. Right, and I do too. I mean, when they show up, you know, I'm a versatile player. I'll play in all kinds of different directions. But when one of these shows up and I see the opportunity, you know, I'm gonna roll it. Okay, same scenarios as usual. We want to play in the direction of the nerd in general, but if you see the nerd shift after we've touched one of these, you know, these are great opportunities in my opinion. Now, oftentimes, if I'm going to take one of these as a pure entry scenario, I'm generally going to be looking for a middle of the bands target. I actually did this just yesterday on a Bollinger Touch at the top. It was perfect, and then I wanted to hold out to the middle. And funny enough, I said, I'm going to hold it to the middle. I literally drew the line, and it came down and touched it and then launched. So you got to be careful on some of those where you get a little greedy on it like I did. It was against the nerd. And I didn't take my target. If you guys remember, I was up like 56 ticks and I was getting greedy. I was like, I'll get like 60 or 70. So for like, you know, about 10 or 15 more ticks, I end up, you know, losing the whole thing and not making anything on that play on, what's it? Yeah, it was Thursday. So that was another one of those where, you know, do as I say, sometimes not as I do. But this one, for instance, came up here and then see that red bar that showed up right there. This happens a lot. It can pounce up and then we might come back down and touch it again. So it's worth taking off at least half your position or the whole thing in the middle of the Bollingers. At least that's the way that I like to play those if I'm playing it by itself. Now, this is not one I want to play just by itself. Nothing, in my opinion, should ever be played on its own by itself. Remember, if I see this on a higher time frame, then I want to go into the lower time frame for an entry, either whether it's a double cross, double move, or an Enigma, or some other lower time frame entry, and we will get into those as we start coming down the list. Lots of great screenshots on these, pretty self-explanatory. You gotta love it when there's a combination. Like, this is a huge scenario where if you get an Enigma down there on top of a Bollinger Touch. You know, we've got guys who will just like literally do their entire quarter, you know, in a single day on some of these Enigma touches with the Bollinger Touch on higher time frames. Huge, especially when they land between 940 and 950. Now, on a higher time frame,
I want you to remember that the 940 and 950. I'm going to bring that up later.
On the Enigmas, I'm going to touch on that real quickly here. Higher time frames, I want to turn the L number down. So instead of doing a 2 or 3 L, here I can do an L1 type of scenario on the higher time frames because of the size of what is coming in on the higher time frames. Okay. This one is a Super Band Plus. Again, basically showing that using these in combinations with some of our usual routines, like a DCR, double cross reversal, double cross at the top of one of these after a nice smooth leg up. Same thing over here, nice smooth leg down, double cross, DCR, as we are working into a zone. Oftentimes we'll literally let you go all the way across rather than even taking off half in the middle, all the way to the other side, all the way to the other side when you get that extra confluence of crosses in a DCR or an Enigma scenario. Another example in the opposite direction there. Very nice, beautiful stuff. Super bands plus Fabella dots. Another super strong situation there. Red dot coming in at the Bollinger Touch. Carnage. I think these are pretty self-explanatory, but do ask your questions there in the chat if I missed some. Fabella dot on BB equals gold. Yes. You're just not using that one, Captain Rex? Yeah, it's a really good one. You know, if you struggle in other time frames where you feel like you're trying to read the market too often, I'll tell you like a pro tip. You just want to wait on the Bollinger Touch before you do anything. Wait on the Bollinger Touch on a higher time frame, then start to look for your lower time frame entries. That's a great way to make yourself a more patient trader, and you know, they're easier plays. They're definitely easier plays, less thinking involved when you're just getting in and you're touching the Bollinger Touch, because you're literally dealing with stuff where stuff has been stretched out. We've got the extension into an area, usually multi-standard deviations away from the mean, and you can get some good plays in there. This one is a combination of Sharkback, and again, just basically look at the combinations where I'm going to tell you almost all of our patterns. We want to work with confluence, not just a single thing. So same deal. We're just really reiterating that on super bands, use them in combination with things. That's going to be your best situation. Sharkback coming in, nice little play there. Another one, huge numbers off of playing with the shark into the super bands. The settings, there's really not a whole lot to talk about them. You can change your colors. You can deal with, oh no, I don't think you can change color. That is one thing I don't let you do. Yeah, I kind of want to keep a standard around our stuff. If y'all really want us to change that, put it in the wish list section there. You can change the opacity and the highlight opacity, but they are going to be red and green on both sides. We can add some more features at some point if you guys really want to. Okay, let's move into the next section here.
All right, so this video is a clip from a boot camp that he did, and it's definitely worth watching. It's on the AlgoBox YouTube, so check that out. Next, I want to go over a trader that uses this strategy, and in specific, he loves to look for it during the 940 and 950 reversal time. That's Eastern, and he just makes a killing this. So I'm going to go and bring up the Discord. Give me 1 second. We're now in the Discord. I'm going to search for a trader named Whiskers, and I learned a lot of it from him. I studied his charts, and it all started clicking when I started reviewing his charts, especially the Bollinger Band strategies. So let me just give you an example of his type of days. 3K day here, 8K day here, 7K, 5K. There's a couple of days where he puts in like 30 to 40K, and it's mind-boggling. And yeah, I saw these numbers and I was like, man, I have to see what he's doing. So I started reviewing his charts. I saw this pattern that he likes, and he's basically trading off the Bollinger Bands. That's one of many things he does, but I would say that's one main thing. Also, he specializes in trading off the 940 and 950 reversal time. That's Eastern in the markets. You could see him talk about it a few times in the post within the Discord. So here he says, good morning crew, 940 Came a little early today. Sometimes it does that. Have a great day. Let's see what he did. So this came like around 9:38 a.m. We had a Bollinger Band touch. We had some EMA touch here. A Bollinger Band touch here with these trend channel lines in the green. A lot stacked up here. Let's see. We had a shark on this higher time frame. And then on the lowest time frame, he had this HMD dot with this lime green dot, which is a very strong signal. And with 20 cons, yeah, well, so this is the highest time frame right here, drilling down to the lowest time frames. And this is a beautiful play. I love this type of play. It's one of my favorites. And yeah, 20 contracts on the NQ. That's a really, really solid trade. How much did he make here? 7K. Let's see what else he has going on here. Here's another setup he has. So higher time frame, he saw a shark, a divergence. Let's see, another bounce here, ready DD, an AO. AOs are some of his favorite plays. I could see here as well, we had some sharks. So a lot of stacked up here, 5K there. Let me see what else. This is another play right here. This is one of my favorites. Bollinger Band touch, higher time frame. Another Bollinger Band touch here. We had a blue dot here, so a divergence. So this purple triangle is a divergence. We had this baby blue fib dot. This is the strongest dot, so there's a bounce there. Then we had this lime green dot with a shark, HMD. Then we had a shark with some DDs, so that's a Super PRZ. Wow, this is a mega stack for sure. So 20 cons, he was up, still alive here with 2400 in the bag. Let me see. So he finished off close to 5,000. Targets hit for him. Wow, very nice play. So yeah, the Discord has some amazing traders in here. Definitely worth checking out. So. And everyone's super nice and friendly. I learned most of it through here and watching the videos. Next, I want to go over some actual trades that happened today. So let's check that out. All right, guys, here is a live recording of today. I took 2 trades, one on sim and one on my evaluation. So let's go back and see it play out in real time. Let me make sure it's not. It's okay, regular speed. All right, here we are. We're at the Bollinger Bands. I see these 2 enigmas. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm stalking the trade. Stalking is basically letting this develop. All right, bands turn green. We have a green, ready DD. I strike. It's that fast. Let me go back again. Let's just let it really play out. Right here, we had an enigma with a lime green dot. I didn't like it because if you see here, and you know my rules, I like to wait for the bands to touch and turn green. So keep that in mind. All right, let's see it play out. We're at the band, so okay, I'm stalking it. We have 2 enigmas. Nice. Now I'm waiting for this to turn green, and I'm waiting for a signal here. Ideally, I want another signal here. We're at large and king timing on this chart. Nice, I see that. Okay, we get a ready DD. I strike. Boom. Target is 38 ticks. Stop loss 40 ticks. 2 cons, $380. Let's watch this trade play out. Let's see if it wins. Sometimes these things lose, but these are very strong plays. So I will take this trade every single time it shows up. And I don't want to fast forward. I want to actually show how it gyrates, how long it takes and all that. So let's see if it hits. Boom. Nice. So let's just see that beauty again. Nice. So let's see how far it went. I mark up the charts. Went to the other side of the bands. Very nice. Nice, really nice move there. All right, and the last play, let me fast forward to that. Let's watch it develop. I was distracted, so it took me a while to take the trade, but I still had a good entry. So here we are, we're at the bands. I like this. We have a signal here. We have this PRZ, which is this structure-based signal. We had an Enigma, we had an AO, we had a PRZ, we had a cross, we had a ready DD, we had a ready DD here. There's a lot happening here. There's like a super power moonshot. A lot of things happening here. At large and king timing, remember these timing lines, large moves can generate from. We have the 200 moving average here. Now I'm waiting for this to turn red, this bar. And that's my confirmation that we're going to start going down. I like it. I did not place a trade just yet. I was distracted. So you'll see it takes me a minute to go back to the stream. So I see it. I'm like, oh, cool. I see all that stacked up and I get in. So let's watch it play out. I could tighten my stop loss, but I generally like to keep it at 40. But I could also tighten it up. So here we have a 40 tick target. It's $400. Let's see if it works. Again, I'm not going to fast forward so you could see how it gyrates. Now we're getting more signals. Let's see. Nice. Nice build up here. This thing's screaming short. Boom, nice. Very nice play. Let's just watch that one more time. Boom, very nice. Let's see how far down it went. Okay, just enough for 40 ticks. That's fine. And that's that, guys. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching. If any of this seems interesting to you, or you feel like you connect with this type of trading, feel free to check out the website. Everything's on there. There's a really great section where it talks about all these concepts. It's called the Docs. And yeah, you could download this and try it out for free. Test it out, see if you like it. But I really think this is one of the most powerful Bollinger Band strategies out there. And you can see it. There's really nothing like this out there. And I've looked. So if you guys could find something like this, then please share it. But this is some very unique, powerful signals. And I'm just so grateful to find this. So yeah, thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace. If you guys want to see a complete step-by-step breakdown of the strategy, check out this video here.